working on page 424 and 425, addition equations. Our objective today is to be able to solve algebraic addition equations. A couple things before I get into it. One, do your work on a separate sheet of paper. Put only your answer on practice 18-2. Do your work on a separate sheet. Use subtraction to solve the equations. We're going to do what's called an inverse operation, doing the opposite to get the answer. So if they have an addition, we're going to subtract to solve it. Show your work. I need to see that paper. Hopefully you have a stapler somewhere at home so you can staple the papers together when you are finished. Problems will involve whole numbers, decimals, mixed numbers, and fractions. I'll try to show you how to solve each kind with two examples of each. And then you can pause and play as you go through it. First one is whole numbers. No decimals, no fractions. We want to solve it. We've got to get our variable, the unknown, the s, all by itself. In order to do that, if you remember from yesterday's assignment, we need to remove 319 from here to get the unknown amount all by itself. So we subtract 319. We do that on both sides of the equal sign. So I'm going to subtract there, draw my line to show I'm subtracting. A positive 319 minus 319 gives us a 0. All I got left is my s. The variable, the unknown, what's that going to equal to? Well, we subtract on this side. 9 minus 9 is 0. 3 minus 1 is 2. 5 minus 3 is 2. S equals 220. We can check that. 220 plus the 319 that we had at the beginning, and it should get us the answer we were looking for. And it does, 539. A little bigger numbers than yesterday. Second one on the bottom, a whole number, but they wrote the variable second, the unknown. I like to rewrite it so that the variable is at the beginning. So I just rewrite it. Now I'm going to do as I did right above this. I want to get z, the unknown number, that variable all by itself or isolated. So I subtract the 53. What I do on one side, I need to do on the other side as well. 53 minus 53 ends up with 0. There's nothing left but my unknown, the variable, the z. 9 minus 3 is 6. I borrow. 10 minus 3 is 5. My variable works out to be 56. I want to check it. 56 plus the 53 they had in the original equation, 109. All right, those are problems that involve whole numbers. I think that will go quite well for you. They'll be spread out throughout your worksheet. Next one is decimals. Same idea. We want to isolate the variable using inverse operation. We have an addition problem, so we want to subtract to solve it. We want to get the q all by itself, that unknown. So we will subtract, lining up our decimals. We'll subtract, line up our decimals so that we subtract correctly. 6.6 minus 6.6 is 0. All that's left is my variable. I subtract on this side. 13 minus 6 is 7. 0, 1. Move my decimal straight down. My variable q equals 10.7. Let me check it. 10.7 plus the 6.6. Lining up my decimals. Move the decimal in. Yes. It is correct. Q does equal 10.7. Second one, subtracting a decimal when it's a whole number on that side. Again, I want to use the inverse operation, so I'm just going to subtract 3.12. 3.12 minus 3.12 is going to be 0. what I do on one side, I got to do on the other. Here's where it's tricky. Line up my place value. 3 is not 30, it's a 3. So I need to put underneath the ones of the number 21, with the 1 being in the ones. I add my decimal point, 1, 2. So get apples and apples, I put a decimal point and add 2 zeros. I do not change the value of my whole number, just a different way of writing it. Normally we don't put the zeros when it's a whole number, but to help us subtract, that is a good practice to do. Let's subtract 3.12 minus 3.12 is 0. What I have left is my variable. On this side, now I do need to borrow. Get that down to 20 for now. This goes to 10, to a 9, to a 10. I get an 8. An 8 as I subtract. Gotta borrow. 10 minus 3 is 7. 1 minus 0 is 1. I'm saying my variable, the v in my equation, is 17.88. I want to check it. Make sure I'm accurate and precise. Add my 3.12, lining up my place value, 0. 8 plus 1 is 9, plus 1 is 10. Carry the 1, put my decimal in. 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 3 is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. 21, that's what we had up there. Hope this is making some sense to you. Get an idea. Again, you can go back and play the video for the whole numbers to start to see that. This is the decimals. Now, how do we do mixed numbers? All right, we're still going to do inverse operation. We're going to subtract, but now we're subtracting with a mixed number. Do we remember that from earlier this year, school year? This is easy. 2 1/2 minus 2 1/2. Yeah, that's going to be 0. But over here, line up my whole numbers, and the fraction goes off to the side. All right, over here, I can do this. 2 1/2 minus 2 1/2. I take away that, I'm going to end up with 0. All I have left is my g, the unknown variable. Now, how do I subtract over here? Do you remember? Think. Don't panic. Think. We're going to borrow a whole. That goes down to 12. Do you remember our whole fractions? One whole fraction equals a whole, number 1. In this case, because this 1/2, the 2 is the denominator, 2 over 2 would be the same as 1. That's our whole fraction. So now I have that. 12, 2 over 2 is the same thing as 13. We haven't changed the amount. That number stays the same. Still equal in value. But I can subtract. 2 minus 1 is 1. The denominator stays the same. 12 minus 2 is 10. My unknown variable g actually was 10 1/2. Now I can check that. Add these together. 1/2 plus 1/2 gives me 2 over 2. That's 12. And you know that this is a whole fraction. That's equal to 1. So that's the same thing as plus 1. 12 plus 1 is 13. Hey, yeah, there it is. A little bit harder. Okay, you'll have to look how to do that. And then the hardest one of them all on the bottom. I like to write my variable first. I'm going to subtract here. That you guys will know as well. I'm getting a little low on my screen. I subtract, I get an R left, the variable. Now I got to subtract 4 3/10. I do not have the same denominator, so I've got to change that to a bottom one, which is 10. 5 times 2, so 1 times 2 is 2. All right, now I got 7 2/10 minus 4 3/10. See how complicated this is getting? Now I can't do it, so I have to borrow again. 6, add up. 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 minus 3 is 9/10. And 2. 2 and 9/10. That is a difficult one. I don't think there's more than one of those. Probably not even one. But that would be worst case scenario. The top one, g plus 2 1/2 12, is more what you'll have on your sheet. We can check those, see if it worked. 2 and 9/10 plus 4 and 3/10 gives us 6 and 12/10. 12/10 is improper. We would divide that, and you would get 7 and 2/10, which we simplify, 7 and 1/5. Very complicated, that one. Last one deals with fractions. We do the inverse operation, subtract. We got to subtract 3/4, but I got to put it over there. That gets nothing. I get s left. Got to borrow the whole fraction again. So that's 4/4.